Charlie, you and I recently attended the NDIA Industrial Security Conference. We were a sponsor, you were a presenter. What were you presenting about?
Yeah, Chris, it was great seeing you guys there. And again, thanks for the sponsorship. It's a great event. I was down talking about how security can contribute to corporate growth. And so the presentation I gave was security as a growth engine. It's a really kind of a derivation of my C-suite love languages seminar, which really helps security professionals and executives understand what the language of the C-suite is all about. You know, what's on the C-suite's mind? It's not security issues all day, every day, although that's important. But in reality, there are a bunch of things like profit and loss and revenue, employee hiring and retention, mergers and acquisitions, and things like that that the C-suite focuses on day in and day out. And so the goal was to expose the security professionals and the executives there at the NDIA conference to that topic and subject matter.
So Charlie, do you think that's a gap sort of in everybody's operational capabilities and strategic thinking? Is that sort of something we need to pay more attention to?
Yeah, definitely. And it's not limited to just security. I mean, if you were to go into the HR function, for example, or even the business development function, you'd see the same challenges that those functions within a company in many cases don't think about, or they're not exposed to on a day-to-day basis, the things that are most important to their most senior executives. So when you think about what the CEO is dealing with day in and day out, or the chief operating officer or the chief financial officer, and you can turn what topics you're bringing to them into their language, it really helps security professionals, HR professionals, and other folks contracting be more successful in getting what they need to have done. So it could be asking for additional resources, or it could be asking for new technology to replace old legacy systems. And if security professionals can talk in the language that the C-suite thinks about all day, it just increases their chance of success. So yeah, it's a big gap, and I see it in almost every company.
Just to pull the string a little bit further on that, can you give us an example of one of those and what types of things you might be talking about and things we could do better in the profession to help us get what we need to do our mission?
Yeah, sure thing. I think a lot of C-suite executives that I've spoken with would tell you security comes to the C-suite with their hand out saying, I need more people, I need more technology, I need more time. And instead of speaking in those words, if they come to the C-suite and say, boss, I'm asking for an investment in X, and the return on investment is going to be Y, and that return on investment will look like fewer staff needed to perform. For example, if I were to implement fresh haystacks, I might get cost savings in people. I might get cost savings in the time to get an employee hired and billable onto contract, which really increases revenue, increases profitability, decreases overhead costs. So that's an example of something that is a routine discussion that security has with the C-suite all day, every day. And if you can turn that language around and speak the way that a C-suite executive really thinks and listens to, the chance of success goes through the roof.
And that's something you've seen throughout your career?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been in my career mostly on the operations side, the profit and loss side. And so I've partnered with security and contracts and HR and watched that dance happen up at the C-suite. And you know, I've not been in a situation in a corporate security organization where I've had to be the security guy asking for more resources, but I've seen it in plenty of meetings where it's happened, and you kind of see the same results of that's great. You know, and after the meeting you hear, they're always asking me for more. They're just never bringing anything to the table saying, if I had this, I could do more with less or anything like that.
And I think this is going to be a really interesting discussion as we go forward with this. I would suggest maybe that we bring in some additional faces into the conversation as we work through some of these topics and try to engage further in that industrial security community around all of the things that are affecting the industry and the government to try to create that mission. I mean, there are threats everywhere, right? There's economic pressure everywhere. There's staffing and retention issues everywhere. So how can we collectively work to make this a better environment and a better community for everybody?
Yeah, I agree, Chris, and I really applaud you and Canda's leadership in tackling these topics. There's something that all of our companies face, and whether it's the Great Resignation affecting our hiring, whether it's changes in the workplace that the pandemic has really driven, all of those things. There's so many experts in the field, folks that we know and work with day to day, that could really shed some light on how these issues are affecting them and how they're dealing with it. So I'm really looking forward to the series and seeing how we can get some really good insights from folks.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. I thank you for taking the time today to chat, and I look forward to tackling some of these topics in the future.
Same here. Thank you, Chris.